Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Traveling the World using Google Maps Street View imagery. Today's episode will be a little bit different because there hardly is any Street View imagery. But the more excited I am, it will be our first time in Africa. More specifically, we will be going to Nigeria's capital, Lagos. Nigeria, of course, one of the biggest growing countries in Africa, very much also so in the world, and Lagos, a massive city of, I don't know, 20, 30 million people. But we're not going to travel the whole city, of course. We'll be going to one specific part of the city, and this part is called Makoko. What is Makoko? Well, Makoto is, I guess, what would be called a slum. It's a word I don't really want to use, I suppose. But it's an area of the city that is mainly inhabited by a fisherman who make a small coin, but most of them, with their families in their community, live on stilts in the water. And for that reason, Makoko is also called the Venice of Africa, which I don't know is a title I have also my problems with. But never mind. I got to know about this area based on a video by the YouTuber, I can say, Sabbatical, who was traveling through this area in person. I will definitely link his video in the description, so go check that out. It's very, very interesting and certainly a very interesting place too. I want to give you a little bit of background before we go into the map and see what we can actually look at. By the way, my hair is wet. I just had a shower. But I thought in a way it's kind of fitting because, we're also gonna stand knee deep in water very soon. Yeah, but first of all, Makoko is an informal settlement across the third mainland bridge located on the coast of Lagos. A third of the community, so not the whole district, a third of the community is built on stilts along the lagoon and the rest is on the land. The waterfront part of the community is largely harbored by the Egan people, migrated from Badagry and the Republic of Benin. Benin. Yeah, Venice of Africa, it's considered to have a population of, 85,000, but with these kind of places, it's of course very difficult to get like a sort of fixed number or like a number that would be true. So if anything, it's an estimate. Established in the 19th century, much of Makoko rests in structures constructed on stilts above the Lagos Lagoon. The name Makoko is literally translated from Yoruba to be Big Akoko. In Yoruba tradition, Akoko leaves are used to aid fertility and also used during chieftaincy coronation. Perhaps here is more interesting. In 2012, Lagos state government, under the governorship of ordered the stilts on the Makoko waterfront to be demolished, and dozens of stilts were demolished within 72 hours of notice to the residents, so people were taken away their homes. Nearly 3,000 people lost their home to the demolition exercise. 2 months after the partial demolition, a Sarak housing affiliate known as the Urban Spaces Innovation developed a regeneration plan for Makoko that would bring the community together with academics, nonprofits, and international consultants. The plan was submitted to the Lagos State Ministry of Urban and Physical Planning in January 2014 period. No more information in this article. Who knows if something has happened? I suppose that the idea with this video, same as probably Sabbatical, is to just kind of, first of all, show you the variety of interesting spaces that exist around the world without necessarily overly problematizing it too much, just kind of shed some light on race awareness, as it is always so flatly put, and yeah, just to see this very, very interesting, unique place. And of course, it has problems, and of course, support and research and publicity about it is I suppose, a good thing. But I don't know how much of that we're actually going to see because, as I said, the street view imagery is not really helping. I will show you a few pictures for that reason. It's a plan of Lagos from, what was it, 1962? That, for all I know, showing Makoko and Lagos mainland. Well, then this would be Makoko here, but it has definitely expanded massively. Let's have a look at some images, just to give you an idea. Look at the color of the water. Wow, this picture. Yeah. In a way, it has a little bit of a colonial touch to it, to kind of, I suppose, go there as a photographer from Europe, take these pictures and, bring them home and exhibit them, and that's about it. I think if you go into these communities, it is important that, you have the kind of permission, maybe, have contact to some local organization or some local people, and maybe whatever you do there, whatever once you do, is in accordance with what they think they need and want, and maybe it will be a two-way exchange. Is somewhat nice. So I'm always a little bit skeptical by default about all sorts of these pictures or this photographical work, but for now, just to show you some of the images here. So without further ado, I would say let's go into the map and see what we actually can see. Now, I was thinking that yes, we don't have actual street view, but we can use the map for a few other things. For example, I can use the measuring tool here on the map to roughly tell you the size of this area and where it is within Lagos. Now, of course, Lagos here is absolutely massive as a city. Like, I mean, it's so dense, absolutely massive. You would think they have enough space, huh? But no. This kind of architecture, this kind of organically grown cities, at least in parts organically grown. There are also other parts, but kind of there's more sort of like structure imposed. But yeah, anyway, this is Makoko here, this area. The closest view we can get on it is perhaps from this bridge. You can have a look here. How the community grows outside onto the water. Because maybe there was a lack of space in the mainland. It's just crazy, and I don't know how easy it is to erect these houses, because like you would imagine that they would need stilts all the way to the ground of the water, but perhaps some of these houses are just kind of floating and tied to one another. I have no idea. But it's absolutely crazy. Can you imagine the living conditions here? You can almost just walk across here to the bridge. Yeah. Could have a look from here as well. I've kind of scoured the map a little bit, but it's very difficult to really see anything. Probably have to go a bit further up. Hmm. 2016 these images are. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's difficult for me really to know what to say. Like, I just feel also like, I'm looking at the map, finding a place in Africa and feeling like, oh well, this is a poor place. We should definitely do something about it. And I'm making a video, so I'm raising awareness. I think all of this is somewhat naive thinking. I am here also solely for the reason that this is an interesting place and I want to have a look at it. And I want to have a look at it using my methods. But yeah, I don't want to give any wrong impressions. But yeah, let's leave this aside. And I wanted to say that basically there's really no street view imagery available that would bring this area somewhat closer to us. The only thing, perhaps, is that we kind of get around it, and if it's just kind of behind these houses. So imagine all of this on water. Still very dense, but you would need a boat to get around. I don't know if you can walk in this water. It's probably somewhat dirty. But look, there's some bigger canals. You can see this sort of like structure, there's some logic to all of this, which is maybe not so apparent at first glance. But yeah, people are traveling by boats, and even these boats are kind of like, they must bump into the houses once in a while. Like if three are next to one another, it's very, very tight. Here, of course, bigger boats just kind of stay in front, but this is almost like a harbor here or something, yeah? And of course, the more you go out, kind of more scattered the houses get. I think this shiny thing here indicates that someone had like some metal part on the roof or something. Then you have this here. Look at the amount of boats here. Looks like almost like sardines or like herrings together. Absolutely massive. But I think this particular part here that is sort of like chopped off from the other part is one of the reasons why, at least structurally, in terms of, how it looks, people call it the Venice of Africa. As if this is what's the river in Venice? Rio Grande? Is it Rio Grande? I don't know. And well, the other thing I quickly wanted to do is to look at businesses here that have opened up, just to have a look around through pictures taken. Makoko community. Here we have some pictures. Oh, look at this. I don't know what this is even. Are they planting something here? Or is it just kind of like wood swimming? I have no idea. Here, look at this. Wow. Mm. It kind of looks like soil is added continuously here to sort of like extend the land available. Wow. This is some kind of floating home, I believe, that I have. Yeah. Pretty cool, yeah? Makoko community. School. Many of these things are also in Sabbatical's video to be found, and my idea was just to kind of have a quick look at. Oof. Isn't this in Venice? with these pillars. It is Venice, isn't it? So this home that is in Makoko was also in Venice. Maybe as part of the Architecture Biennale or something. Definitely worth following up on this, I guess. So yeah, people kind of like, you know, live on these boats, and if they're so close together, the way you get off them is to walk all through, like across all of the other boats, I suppose. Absolutely crazy. Wow. But this is a rendering, I think. Yeah. Makoko Church Community Hall. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The UPS team. Yeah, like, I mean, how do you even... Some design office. Like, how do you even sort of like keep hygiene illnesses low? How do you... Like, do they have any pipes? Is there any sort of garbage system? I have so many questions. If someone knows more about this, please let me know. I'd be very curious. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little sneak peek into this district of Lagos. Yeah, as I said, I think it is important to be aware how we address this. Like, my idea was to kind of let, you know, my own curiosity guide me through this. Don't make a political statement, but also, of course, to be aware that if I don't make a political statement, certain things can be assumed, and I guess they still can. I think it's just, yeah, sort of relevant to be aware of one's own own position in this. Yeah, like whatever you do, you have an own position that you bring into it, and you know, it's easy to sort of like you know, come up with a sort of, we should do this or that, or it should be this or that, or you know, how poor, how difficult it must be, like all these sorts of things. But it's all pretty meaningless if you don't even really know anything more about this community. So I think, at least for my part, I've made a first step, a first look around, and yeah, if anyone has more information, or if anything changes, I'd be very gladly coming here again. So take care, thanks for watching, and